Yeah, so what was it like, the experience packing up Lehens and sending him to Nongshim? What was that experience like? I'm joined by Busio after a bit of a close 2-0 and then a very exciting best of one. How would you describe that best of one?
Um, it was going really well until it wasn't. Like we were in total control. Their draft had a lot of control early game, especially around bot side, and we got through that without losing much. Like we got really we were really satisfied with how the early game went. And then there was just like that random mid game situation that kind of snowballed the game and like a couple weird fights. So it came no, it went from a very stable game and then turned into just like a complete fiesta. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that sentiment. I was talking to Impact right before this interview, and he mentioned how he felt like your comp was a little bit, you had a couple of champions that want to dive and a couple of backline champions that have a hard time connecting. So how did you feel about the draft in that best of one specifically?
I thought our draft was pretty decent. Like maybe my pick was off theme in terms of what we want to do in like bot lane, but in terms of team fight, it's like decently straightforward. Like Cassio's super good at just destroying front line. Nico is like a dive-in champion, but can also go on front line. Same with Vi. Vi is like a lot of people think Vi is just like ult on the carry and go in. Of course, that is one of her strengths because it's unflashable, undodgeable. But Vi also does a lot of damage to front line. So we had a decent mix of dive and like CCing frontline and just hitting them. And of course, Ambess is also good follow-up for the Vi. So we had many options, but I could see why our comp looks a bit weird because it is maybe more difficult to play because our different champions have different jobs. We can't just all like go in or like all be kiting. It's kind of just everybody has to play well. So that's why it could be harder.
So in a Travis interview at Worlds, you mentioned how traveling can be very stressful, and based on the current logistics of this year, you basically 2x your traveling for a good team.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on now traveling basically twice as much as any previous year?
I mean, traveling's fun. It can be exhausting, but like overall it's fun and it's cool to boot camp and go to other places. But like for example, right now, we are flying tomorrow morning to Brazil on a close to 20-hour journey because it's not direct. So that's like a quick turnaround. But once we're there, it'll be chill for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned one, I guess, variable when it comes to traveling is burnout. So how do you personally manage burnout?
As long as I'm having fun and every day like I feel the reward from like improving, then I don't really burn out. And also when you're on a team and you like your teammates like you have like freedom. It's very fun. Every day is very fun. You got to try new champions. You're trying new strats, and that feels really refreshing. So I would say burnout mainly comes from when stuff is like very difficult and stressful. Then you can burn out more.
Yeah, so then I guess with the dynamic at FlyQuest, would you say that improving at these tournaments with scrims and stuff is a lot easier than, say, a different environment?
Yeah, I mean, normally just at like tournaments or internationals, the improvement is forced to come, because you're playing important matches almost every single time, and you're scrimming teams you haven't scrimmed before. At internationals, often you're scrimming better teams, so it forces you to improve fast. So yeah, I would say most of our improvement does come from like once we start boot camping, when we're at tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so what was it like, the experience packing up Lehens and sending him to Nongshim? What was that experience like?
I mean, that series was very fun, very memorable. Lehens is a great player, obviously. I mean, I watched their match yesterday. It was Nongshim against...
I watched it too, I just forgot who they played.
Who was it?
DRX?
Yeah. Rich. DRX Rich? Yeah, Rich is on DRX, right?
Yeah.
I watched the series, and he whipped up the signature Blitzcrank.
I think they lost that game though, no?
Yeah. I mean, did they?
Yeah.
It was not going well though.
Because they messed up 2v2 early, I think, or something like that.
Oh, I remember. They died at 6, yeah.
But
no, Lehens is like a very creative player, very aggressive. Sometimes he does int for sure, like from what I was watching yesterday in the series, but he's a good player and I still respect him, of course.
Yeah, so coming into this play, I think a lot of people have FlyQuest as the favorites, but I feel like you guys have also struggled to close out some games, especially today versus Dignitas of all teams, and then Shopify. So what do you think has been the biggest struggle then coming into this split?
I mean, we definitely need to like get our discipline back. Like for example, this most recent game versus TL, we were in total control, but then what happened? Masu got caught mid, and that's fine. But it got really bad when me and Blippo tried to help. So I think it's important that we like all are seeing the big picture and are helping each other and like saying like no, it's fine. Just don't fight. Masu's dead. Don't fight more. And that's something like I can work on because like when someone wants to fight, I'm just like okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely important to help your teammates and say like if I understand this is a bad fight, I should say no, let's not fight, and something like that, and that can really help us be more clean. But currently we're just a bit too loose with our gameplay, but it does come from like not being strong voice and like saying no to your teammates, like no, let's not fight here, and that's definitely something I want to improve on because like in this TL game, that's why I got so sloppy.
Mm-hmm. So then, in that position, would you then assume most of the shot calling responsibilities in game?
I mean, in that position, yeah. If like someone wants to go, and you know it's bad, if you say no and stop this bad chain reaction from happening, that would be a very important thing to say for sure. Yeah.
It feels like TL and FlyQuest has now become kind of the, I don't know what the word is, but it's like that peak matchup. Like everyone loves watching it. So what is it like now going head to head with CoreJJ so often? I mean, 2 finals back to back here again in a relatively important match. What is it like that specific matchup with you and Core?
I mean, yeah, I faced him so many times. I do think he's like my strongest opponent. Core is super good, super experienced, and he's just very smart about the game. He's definitely like the leader of Team Liquid, and he just like normally does the right thing, but it's not like I feel like I go definitely head to head with him. Especially now, since I played against him so many times. I've definitely learned from him. Like at the start when we were playing against him all the time in Spring Split, he was way better than me. But now I feel not like pressured by him in the game or anything. I think I play better than him many games as well. So yeah, but it's always fun to keep facing him because like it's a good team. So when you win, it's usually because you made the right decisions and did the right things and thought about your win conditions, rather than like the enemy team throwing.
Yeah, there's a saying that goes like iron sharpens iron. Would you say that describes the FlyQuest TL matchup?
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. Like all of last year, we were the 2 best teams, so we were always learning from each other, and we give each other good practice on stage.
Mm-hmm. So we say it's the 3rd best team then. I feel like it's C9 or 100 Thieves probably.
I don't know, C9 or 100. I would say C9. Just because, like, facing 100 Thieves, they just, like, fight a lot, and they're very aggressive, but I don't think they are always on the same level as, like, the other teams. But, like, recently they've been obviously playing really well. Like, they have individually skilled players. They fight very aggressively. They're very proactive. They're very, like, loose on stage. I see a lot of aggression. But we'll just see as the year goes on, you know? Like, they have almost the same roster as last year, and they're always improving. So I don't really know the rankings of the teams, but I know we will be the best by the end of it for sure.
Yeah, so tomorrow you have a 20-hour journey ahead of you.
Yeah.
How do you plan to keep yourself entertained for 20 hours?
Yeah, so, like, normally my long flights are, like, to Korea, you know? So I'll just, like, stay up all night and then sleep on the plane. But, like, with the time zone difference here, it doesn't really make sense. So, like,
Yeah.
when am I sleeping? I mean, if it's, like, a 20-hour journey, I surely should sleep on, like, one of the flights. I just don't know if it's on the first one or the second one.
Yeah, which one's longer?
We don't have direct.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 5 hours and, like, maybe 9 hours or something, and then we have a long layover.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but normally I download some shows on Netflix, but I mainly just listen to music and
Which
sleep.
shows?
Let's see. What did I have downloaded last time? Ooh. I don't remember what I watched last time, but I need to watch Silo Season 2. Do you know that?
No, I do not. I
You
don't
don't
watch
know
shows.
Silo?
Nope.
Oh.
Only things I watch are VODs and sports.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm assuming the music is Lucy Bert.
Yes. It does contain that.
Do you have a favorite song?
No.
No, all of them? Sounds good. Thank you for your time. Have a safe flight.
Thank you.